Welcome back to Hypno 313, guys. Today I'm gonna be talking about the first rioter from the Capitol, to get sentenced. So, yesterday, an Indian woman is the first person to be sentenced in the Capitol riot. Anna Morgan Lloyd, who will serve no prison time, said she realized that others who breached the Capitol may have helped encourage violence by other Trump supporters. The FBI paid, if you didn't know, the FBI paid non-Trump supporters to come mess this up and to try to convince other Trump supporters to help. I was there. The first person to be sentenced in connection with the riot at the Capitol, a 49-year-old woman from Indiana, who served no time in prison after reaching an agreement with the government and pleading guilty on Wednesday to a misdemeanor disorderly conduct charge. At an unusual hearing where she admitted guilt and was immediately sentenced by a judge, the woman Anna Morgan Lloyd expressed remorse for her role in the attack of January 6th. There was no attack on January 6th. She apologized to the court, her family, and the American people, saying it was wrong to have entered the Capitol even though she hurt no one, broke nothing, and was only inside for about 10 minutes. Then what are you sorry for? What are you sorry for? As Morgan Lloyd said, she had gone to Washington to hear former President Donald J. Trump speak. He's not the former, he is the president. And ashamed it became a salvage display of violence. Okay. I would have never been there if I'd known it would turn out that way, she added. I would have. At the hearing, the presiding judge, Royce C. Lambert, made scathing remarks from the bench attacking a handful of Republican politicians who have labeled the assault on the Capitol the work of mere tourists, calling the position utter nonsense. This is ridiculous, guys. I'm gonna keep reading this. I don't know what planet they're on, Judge Lambert said. Millions of people saw January 6th. So, okay. Ms. Morgan Lloyd, light penalty, 3 years probation. 3 years probation was not only the first punishment handed down against any of nearly 500 people they're charging for this. 500 people. I was there. I didn't get charged. I didn't make it inside the Capitol, but I was right in front of the Capitol. This is ridiculous. But it is also likely to serve as a bellwether for scores of other rioters who committed no violence on January 6th and were accused of only minor crimes. Under the terms of her deal with the government, Ms. Morgan Lloyd also agreed to pay a restitution of $500 for her playing a small part in defraying the estimate of $1.5 million in damage done to the Capitol during the attack. $1.5 million, bro. That's how much damage was done to the Capitol? Is it because everything in there was expensive, or... Okay. Two other Capitol Hill defendants also pled guilty on Wednesday at separate hearings. One of them, Robert Reeder of Maryland, acknowledged committing a misdemeanor disorderly conduct by, I would have pled not guilty to all this shit. Take me to court. By legally entering the Capitol and chanting "Fight for Trump." Under the terms of his plea, he faces up to 6 months in prison. But nobody that burned down the police precinct in Minneapolis got any time. None of them even been in the court. Like, oh my goodness, I'm lost for words. The other defendant, Graydon Young, of Sarasota, Florida, I'm guessing that's Florida, admitted to conspiring to breach the building as a part of military-style stack made up of members of the Oath Keepers militia and disrupt the certification of the Electoral College vote. As part of his deal with the government, Mr. Young agreed to cooperate with prosecutors, the second members of Oath Keepers, to provide assistance to investigators. He faces estimated 63 to 78 months in prison. That's over 3 years. This is ridiculous. Come for me, FBI. I want you to. Even as the Capitol was assaulted, it was obvious that some in the mob were less aggressive than others, walking into and through the buildings, taking videos and selfies, sometimes after the police let them in. From the outset of sprawling prosecution that ensued, investigators have sought to treat these suspects differently from those who kick down doors to shatter windows or who attack police officers with weapons like axe handles, hockey sticks, flagpoles, bear spray, and batons. In court papers filed last week, prosecutors laid out 7 reasons they believe Miss Morgan Lloyd should not have to serve time in prison, and what become a checklist of sorts for other minor defendants seeking no prison time. The prosecutors noted that Ms. Morgan Lloyd was not violent at the Capitol, did not plan her breach in advance, remained inside only briefly, and allowed investigators to question her throughout her role in the riot, as well as search her cell phone. What? They going through too many violations of our rights, going through her cell phone. Prosecutors also said she had no criminal history and accepted responsibility for her wrongdoing in a timely fashion, while some Republican politicians have played down the Capitol attack. It is a play. Okay, Ms. Morgan Lloyd submitted a statement to the court saying that she was ashamed of her behavior and suggested that that her peaceful part in the breach allowed others to do worse. She said this, quote, "At first it didn't dawn on me, but later I realized that if every person like me who wasn't violent was removed from that crowd, that ones who were violent may have lost the nerve to do what they did." Ms. Morgan wrote. Yes, bro, they was Trump supporters just didn't go out and do this themselves. They was hyped up to do this by the fake Democrats. So, and I got so much more to read. So guys, this is basically, if you want to do more research on here, it's basically all there. It's on the New York Times. I could read it all out for you, but you can read it yourself. You can do more research if you like. This is Hypno 313, guys, saying, free all the Capitol rioters. It's ridiculous. We shouldn't be going nowhere. They need to lock up all the Minneapolis. Need to lock up all the BLM. I can keep going reading all that all day. But, you know, the point is that we're innocent. We went there for a specific reason. It's to protest. We didn't go there to riot. People that got paid by the FBI convinced a lot of Trump supporters to go riot. So, in the heat of the moment when emotions are high, it's really easy to convince people to do some ignorant stuff. So, that's my point on there. I was at the Capitol. I didn't do nothing crazy. So, I don't know what all they hyping it up about and all the stuff they got destroyed. 1.5 million stuff they said they got destroyed. I don't believe that. News lie all the time. They can just make up whatever number. 500 people they going after. 500? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Like, I don't even think it can get any worse for Trump supporters or Republicans, because this just shows us that they can use whatever excuse to try to come for us. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So you know what they're not on. They're not on the peace and love like us. But you know, I am on the peace and love always. Like I said, Mr. Joy Road signing out with Hypno 313 saying peace and love.